We're going to go right into it. Mainly because we're running out of time.
How many of you find it frustrating when people are using their phone when you're trying to talk to them? Raise your hand. You should. Some people are trying to have a friendly conversation with you, but many of us decide that our smartphone is more important than them, and we disrespect them. So let's look at some other things we might find frustrating. Here we have a dinner table of friends, all occupied on their phone. Now we have a man on a date on his phone, and then we have a toddler with their own iPad. And the best part, we have a man completely missing out on a whale sighting because he's glued to his phone. Over the summer, I have read interpersonal communication skills books that are tailored to communication skills, including The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and Emotional Intelligence 2.0. So I have come to learn the value of communication skills in developing healthy relationships and having a successful career. Because I value this, I've come to learn that smartphone technology has hindered our communication skills, and I want this to stop. So today, I'll be addressing how we are addicted to our smartphones, and how it's having detrimental effects to our emotional intelligence and the quality of our conversations, and ask you to take action to reverse this trend. So we are addicted to our smartphones, whether we realize it or not. They go with us virtually wherever we go, like it's our left leg. In a study conducted by Trev and Barbeau, a survey was given out to 955 people across the United States, every state. They were given statements to rate 1 through 5, and 5 was being, this statement described me perfectly. What they found is that people more often than not feel 1, anxious or uncomfortable without their smartphone, 2, feel safer with their smartphone, and 3, feel naked without their smartphone. This goes to show that we have a psychological dependence on our phones. I then went on to conduct my own survey tailored for Pepperdine students. Some of you actually took this survey in this class. Out of the 50 people that I have surveyed, 100% on a smartphone. 90% spend 1 to 2 hours or more on their smartphone every day. 82% find it bothersome to see people on their smartphone at social gatherings, and an astounding 98% are frustrated when they're trying to talk to someone on their phone. I then went on to find that the primary reason why we go on our phones, and that was either messaging or social media. So what I drew from this is that overall we are social human beings, but are we socializing in the right way? I now want to discuss the importance of emotional intelligence on communication. So what is EQ? As defined in the Emotional Intelligence 2.0 book, it is the ability to recognize and understand our own emotions as well as others. So what is the importance to this? It dictates our behavior around other people and how we handle social complexities. In the Kellogg study at UCLA Psychology Department, they gathered 105 11 and 12-year-olds at a Southern California public school, and they divided them in 2 groups. Group 1 went to a nature and science camp out of school for 5 days, and they were completely deprived of technology, forced to have face-to-face communication with each other. Group 2 continued on to school where there's a lot of use technology like everyday life. They were then, after 5 days, the children were brought back and they were presented with photographs of people expressing different emotions in the photographs. They were then asked to describe the specific emotion they were expressing. And what they found is that the group deprived of technology just after 5 days was significantly better at detecting the correct emotion in the photographs. Now on to an article by Eddington of Tribune Business News. He says how the interaction between children are more and more through technology as they're growing up in our generation. And because of this, they're developing a lack of empathy towards other people. Why is this? Why are we lacking the ability to feel other people's feelings? It is because kids are talking through a screen to other people. They're not talking to their face. For example, when in cyberbullying, for example, say you joke about someone or tease someone on social media, and the victim might take actual much offense to it, even though you didn't mean to. The joker or the cyberbully would never know that that person was hurt because it's through a screen. They don't get to see their facial expressions. They don't get to see that they were physically hurt. Now on to the detrimental effects technology is having on the quality of our conversations. So, as defined in the Draco study, social skills contain two main components, and that is obviously the ability to interact with other people, but it also includes verbal and nonverbal cues. Nonverbal cues includes things like facial expressions, hands, gestures, body language, and more. In the Kang study at California State University at Northridge Psychology Department, they give out a questionnaire to 68 individuals, young adults who are located in the LA area, and they were asked questions of their preferred method of communication. That is, do you prefer to communicate with people online or people face to face? After this, each individual was taken into a room with a hidden camera, and they had a conversation with a complete stranger. But that stranger was a trained professional, and they were judged on their social skills based on 4 components. And that was their friendliness, their ability to maintain a conversation, and their engagement within the conversation, and their expressiveness in the conversation. And what they found is that people who preferred face-to-face communication in the questionnaire before actually significantly scored much higher in all 4 of these areas. And the reason why is because they're reading the nonverbal cues from face-to-face communication. They're seeing the emotion from it. In a Draco study at Elon University, they simply gave out a survey to 100 students, and the main finding from this is that 92% of the people who took the survey believe that technology is having a negative effect on their day-to-day face-to-face communication with people in their conversations. So overall, technology is having a detrimental effect on the quality of our conversations in everyday life. So what is the counter-argument to using smartphones, to really using smartphones to connect with people? A lot of people say, well, smartphones, they allow us to talk to people more, obviously, and have more conversations throughout the day and talk to more people. That's very true. And they're doing this through texting and social media and instant messenger. So if you're talking to more people and the more experience you're gaining talking to people, wouldn't you feel like your communication skills are becoming better? Well, the answer is no. It's all about quality over quantity, face-to-face over online. Because when you're talking to someone face-to-face, you're getting the emotion from the interaction. You're getting the nonverbal cues from the interaction. And you're also fostering a sense of spontaneity. So when you're talking to someone face-to-face, you don't have 1 to 2 minutes to think of a response like you do when you're texting someone. No, you have to be able to maintain the conversation quickly. Because of this, it requires a higher level of communication skills. And that is why face-to-face communication is much better than online communication. So what am I asking you to do? I've told you all the detrimental effects online communication is having on our social skills and communication skills. So what I think we need to do is that we need to sign a petition, which I have here, to require a general education communications course that fosters face-to-face communication, teaches you the proper communication skills, and also teaches you the negative effects of technology on everyday social skills. I also hope that it recommends how to put your phone away, out of reach, in social interactions, and also teach you as possible future parents how to raise your children right. Peter Yang of the Daily Gleaner, he gave a really good point when he said that we should not be giving our children smartphones until they're mature enough to control themselves and control their habits. So overall, we have become addicted to our smartphones, whether we realize it or not, because it is with us wherever we go, and we're uncomfortable without it. It is hindering our emotional intelligence skills, and it's also hindering the quality of our conversation. I encourage you to take action and sign this petition, have a general education course here at Pepperdine that fosters face-to-face communication among us students. So I encourage you to get out of this cloud of technology and rise above to go into a higher level of communication. So I want you to ask yourselves, do you control your smartphone, or does your smartphone control you? Thank you.